The other coaches are Mrs. Susan Brass and Mr. Jens Terkelsen. Now let me introduce the lineup of the home team, Great Britain. First batter, number 8, Ryan Martin.
All right, we're here live at the 2018 European Men's Softball Championship. Just getting set for the second to last day of the tournament. And we've got a game between Denmark and Great Britain for you. This is the last game for both teams before the semifinals. And with 2 games left in the group stage, we've got first Denmark and Great Britain, followed by the host Czech Republic against the Netherlands. And these 2 games will determine the 4 spots, the spots 1 through 4. But Dan Morgan, we already know now which 4 teams basically are going to be in the semifinals. What do you think we can expect from these 2 teams?
Well, these 2 teams are going to go all out for it today. They've had a very successful tournament, both teams. Denmark's gone through with just 1 loss last night to the Czech Republic. And Great Britain has just 2 losses, but actually played the Czech Republic much closer in one of their losses, a 3-2 loss. So we should see a really good game. Both teams pulling out all the stops to try to get into the highest position possible in this tournament.
Well, if we've already taken a look at the standings, these 2 teams, and actually the 4 teams, it's really almost impossible to say which order they're going to finish in. If Great Britain wins this game, there's the possibility of a 3-way tie between them and the Netherlands. If they lose this game, the British team will be in 4th place. So the 2 teams shaking hands, and soon we'll be off for the game. The home team for this game is Great Britain, so Denmark will be batting first.
Well, as I was saying before, we're getting to the stage now where the teams will know what a victory will bring them, who they will play if they win, and who will they play if they lose. So in a robust 4-12 in this tournament, and he's and also Darby the pitchers at 368. So they're the ones to watch.
We're getting a look at the leadoff hitter for Denmark, Valdemar Terkelsen, the center fielder. He'll be starting. That's how that goes for them today. Terkelsen stepping in, and we're about to get underway in this game. Darby looks in for the signal, and first pitch is outside, ball 1.
Third baseman playing in as per for the leadoff hitter, although Terkelsen has some power. I don't know if they'll be butting in this situation.
And that one's high for ball 2. And a leadoff hitter, we can probably not expect Terkelsen to chase much out of the strike zone, especially now with a 2-0 count.
Now he's got a good count right now. He's going to try to get on first base, so he's going to be very picky in this next pitch.
And that's outside, and we got 3-0. Darby pitching around the strike zone, and Terkelsen being very selective, hasn't chased anything out of the strike zone yet. And that catches the outside corner.
No umpire likes that, to see the batter running to first base.
Well, generally speaking, and especially lead off here of the game, you knew Terkelson had the take all the way on that pitch on the 3-0.
He's got 4 walks this tournament, so
that one right down the middle of the plate for strike 2. So now we've got a full count all of a sudden, and as Darby has fought back here.
This is a big out. Terkelson's got almost a 600 on-base percentage.
At the knees, called third strike. So after falling behind 3-0, Darby fires 3 strikes. Terkelson does not swing at a single pitch there.
Very interesting. I mean, he saw lots of pitches, much of which were fastballs. He didn't see much off-speed offerings that time.
That strike 3 was right at the knees, though. And we'll have Anders Svane now, the third baseman, coming up to bat. He's got quite a beard on him.
Quite a beard and quite a tournament so far, hitting at a 385 clip. Well, also on-base percentage well over 500. So if Darby can get these first 2 hitters.
Well, he falls behind again 1-0 as that ball was low. Fouled back off the backstop. Svane, the first swing at a pitch from Darby so far.
Darby going with a little bit of off-speed pitches there.
Here comes the 1-1. Bunted foul, so 1-2.
He did attempt the bunt there.
So Darby ahead now in the count, looking for his second strikeout of the first inning. Swinging strike 3, that one might have been high, but Svane trying to protect with 2 strikes, and Darby has 2 batters and 2 strikeouts.
Oh, definitely high and definitely deliberately high. He came in with a high heat ahead in the count. Nice little bit of strategy there, and they've got the first 2 most dangerous hitters for Denmark away.
Well, now we got Fredrik Terkelson, one of the many Terkelsons on this Danish team, and he's the first baseman.
Fredrik's only got 10 at-bats as well. He's hitting at a 500 clip with 2 dingers.
And he's now ahead in the count, 2-0.
Lefty, they're playing him straight away.
That one came inside and he managed to fight it off.
Nice bit of off-speed, showing all different pitches here to Terkelson.
Terkelson might not have wanted that pitch though with 2-0 though.
He would have liked to have that back laid off, get with a 3-0 count. Ooh.
So 3-0 now. So sorry, 3-1. Red, he fouled one off.
Just missed there. Darby seemed to think that that may have caught the corner.
It's hard to tell if it catches that corner sometimes from that angle I saw straight away, but that one is definitely outside in ball 4. So Denmark has their first base runner of the game. And so Daniel Julenon, the designated player, will now come up to bat with 2 out and a runner on first.
Well, he's had a very productive tournament, Julenon. He's hitting at 667 with 12 total bases, and it's also been on base 3/4 of the time at 786.
Well, as a cleanup hitter, there's certainly something they'd like right now. An extra base hit would do well to try to bring Terkelson around. He takes ball 1. Sorry, strike 1.
Terkelson not a threat at first base, but they would love to get him in scoring position and get this first run on the board.
That one's high, so now the count is... Sorry, I was right the first time. It's 2-0.
Well, the umpire is...
not very audible with some of these calls.
He's taking his time in delivering the signal.
Now that one is a strike, so catches the corner, so 2 balls and 1 strike. And he swings at a low pitch, 2-2.
Nice off-speed pitch there. That's right, exactly where you want the positioning of that pitch. Dropping out of the strike zone. If he does connect on that, it's just a long foul.
Fights that one off right on the inside corner, so Ulenon stays alive.
Ulenon does have 1 home run in this tournament, so a threat for the long ball.
I wonder if it went splash. And that one misses outside, and we now have a full count.
Well, that must have just missed because Darby wanted that. He was already heading towards the dugout.
Well, again, just as the umpires don't like to see batters walk into first base, they don't like to see pitchers walking off towards the dugout either. That was definitely inside, though, and Ulenon walks.
That hit something. I guess it hit the catcher's mitt, but now we've got to see.
Well, yeah, that was Kevin Stockford, and he had to be quick to get to the backstop there because you don't want those runners moving up an extra base on that.
There is a short backstop here, so it would have been quite a gamble. Stockford now going out to have a word with Darby, try to settle him down and get out of this inning.
Well, there are 2 out, and the catcher right now, Anders Jørgensen, will now come to bat.
Jørgensen's hitting 400 during this tournament. He also has a dinger, 3 RBIs. He struck out 3 times, and he's gotten on base at a 500 clip.
As we've mentioned before, Jørgensen does have power. He's not the fastest guy out there, as many catchers aren't, so the play, if the ball's on the ground, the play will be to first base, definitely. That one's high and tight, ball 1.
He's starting him with a high heat here. We'll see what he comes back if he tries to get out of this inning with some more off-speed punch. He's gone 75–80% here with fastballs in the first inning, which is not unusual.
And Stockford has trouble hanging on to that pitch, but the runners do not advance. 2-0 the count.
That was a mistake. I think the runners would have had that, like to have that back and taken the extra base, getting both these runners in scoring position.
Yeah, with 2 out. They probably didn't think it was going to get that far away from him, but. And he's really having trouble now, Stockford, hanging on to some of those pitches. I mean, that one was in the strike zone.
Darby going all for his heat now. I wonder if he's having problems getting his off-speed pitches in the strike zone.
He hangs on to that one and definitely tries to frame it, but the umpire not biting on that one.
Wow.
3 balls and 1 strike to count.
Darby's got to keep his cool now. That definitely could have been called a strike. That was right down across the letters.
As I said, I think Stockford did try to frame that a little bit. And another strike that drops to the ground by Stockford, and we've got a full count with 2 outs, so the runners will be running on the pitch.
This is a good count. This is, especially since there isn't much speed on the base, this is a good count to hit in.
So called 3rd strike, so 3 strikeouts for James Darby in the first inning, 2 of them with the runners looking, with the batters looking, and he leaves the Danish leave 2 runners on base.
Well, Darby got out of that when he went to full count on a few batters, but he came in and that was beautifully placed right in the inside corner, a pitcher's pitch if ever there were one.
Well, so Britain now happy to be out of that first inning without giving up a run. They saw probably the most dangerous part of the order, as we're going to now look at the Danish defensive orientation. With Terkelsen there in center field highlighting. Kim Hansen will be the pitcher. He's their ace.
Well, Hansen's just been outstanding in this tournament. He's 2-0 with a 0.00 ERA. 118.
That's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's not bad. 118 batting average against. He's faced 17 batters, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks in 5 innings of pitch. Only giving up, Derek, get this, 2 hits. So that's a nice numbers there.
And it underlines how important it is for Darby and the British team to get out of the inning without giving up any runs, because this looks to be the kind of game where runs are going to be at a premium.
That's right, and I think that the Danish team would have liked to have had that pass ball back, the one that got away from the catcher. As you say, it didn't look like it was going so far, but then you've got runners in second, third, then maybe second and third, and then maybe you've got the pitcher being a little bit more cautious, not wanting to throw a pass ball, maybe giving some better pitches to hit.
Well, Ryan Martin will be the leadoff hitter for Great Britain, and as he steps into the batter's box, starts to groom it.
Martin's had an incredible tournament, hitting at .524, 3 home runs. This guy's got powers. Both leadoff hitters for the two teams have incredible power at the leadoff position. 10 RBIs and hitting at a .565 on base percentage.
Just looking at him, you wouldn't guess that he's a power hitter. He does look like a typical leadoff hitter, though.
No, he does. But only two walks from the leadoff position and 24 total bases.
And now we've got something they want to talk to the umpire about, the official scorer.
Well, as you mentioned, we've got the Sazava River running right behind our outfield fence here, and I think a few of the players in the past have actually hit them far enough to go right into the river and send the ball to a different town.
Well, that's kind of like in Pittsburgh at the park there. They got the river, or in San Francisco with the bay. But there is a discussion, I don't know what it's about lineups or something. We see Stockford, the British catcher, and Kim Hansen, the Danish pitcher, are both over talking to the official scorer. We'll wait to hear what this is all about.
Well, going through the Great Britain lineup, we've got Stockford then hitting at .412. Kevin Stockford is behind the plate, and with the on-base percentage at .476. Darby, the pitcher, James Darby, hitting at .368 and getting on base at a .520 clip. Darby also has 3 home runs. Joshua Pete has 2 home runs. Richard Haldane, who's playing second base this morning, is at .313 and getting on base at .476. So the on-base percentage, if you go down the line here, basically the first 10 batters are getting on base at above a 400 clip.
Well, so when you got good hitting against good pitching, what's going to come out on top here? It looks like we're finally getting ready to start. Not sure what that was all about, but in any case, Miller steps up to face the first pitch, and he hits it into left field. Anderson fields that in left field, gets it into second base. So Martin leads off for Great Britain with a hit.
Well, completely different strategy than Denmark. First ball swinging, and I don't even know if the shortstop seemed to be leaning. Spain seemed to be leaning the wrong way. That didn't go too far in the hole. That was possibly a fieldable ball.
Well, Richard Haldane now, the second baseman, coming up to bat now, and he's throwing bunt. He takes high, ball 1. As we said, with an expected pitching duel, not surprising that they'd be looking to bunt a guy over and get him in scoring position. He fouls that one off, so 1-1 the count.
Well,
Britain looking like they're already wanting to be aggressive up to bat.
Well, you're right, Derek. We're getting to the stage now where the strategy is going to play a lot more of a role. In
there for a strike, 1 and 2, as Hansen seems to be coming into the strike zone with every pitch. One hopper to first base. Terkelson takes it and takes the bag himself. Martin advances over to second base, so that's as good as a bunt for the British.
He got the job done, hit the ball to the right side. I don't think he would want to have swung at that if he had the chance. That was almost going up to his neck. But it did the job, you're right, Derek.
Kevin Stockford now, the catcher, coming up to bat. Last time we saw him, he still had his shin guards on. He takes inside, ball 1.
That's the umpires, that was close. He twisted his body. It seemed like the bat almost went around for a swing. They checked with the second base umpire, no swing.
Low in the strike zone, that's hit hard down the left field. It's going foul and it is out of play, just out of play. That was Anderson giving chase to that. But a lot of foul room there. That was not very realistic. That bounced right off the top of the fence.
Anderson did give chase. He almost actually got to that ball, which didn't look like it'd be possible from after he came off the bat.
So the 1-1 to Stockford. That just off the corner, so 2-1 the count.
Martin with some speed at second base.
And he hits that one hard, but foul. As you can see, Stockford really pulling the ball. He's pulled 2 of them.
Well, 2 off-speed pitches in this sequence and 2 long foul balls. Second one hit harder and closer to being fair. But for the pitcher, that's just 2 long strikes. That's part of the strategy, the off-speed.
And Stockford fights it off. Count remains 2-2.
We're seeing a lot more off-speed offerings here from Hansen than we did from Derby in the first inning.
Well, that was ball 3, but it was close, and Jurgensen even turning around asking the umpire where that pitch was.
Hansen giving a long stare in after that one.
Well, both pitchers so far in the first inning think they've been squeezed so far. That one not even close though, ball 4. So Britain now has first and second with 1 out. James Darby, the pitcher, coming up. I don't know if they're going to run for Stockford, the catcher there. They're talking about it. I think there have to be 2 out before they can do that.
Well, Darby hitting at 368, and he's got some power, 3 home runs, so.
Oh, the appeal to second base, again, another appeal. He didn't swing, so ball 1.
Good call by the umpire.
I didn't even see much of a swing at all there. I was surprised they even checked that.
Well, that's the advantage of sitting here, Derek, is that we do have a good view of the Czech swings.
That one's high, ball 2. That did catch the corner, so 2-1 the count.
Darby's just seen 3 straight fastballs. We'll see if there's going to be some off-speed coming here. 1 out with 2 runners on.
And Darby wondering maybe why he wasn't getting that call when on the corner there when he was pitching. The 2-2. And that one's in the dirt for ball 3.
3-2. Not much speed at first. You're not going to send the runners with just 1 out.
That was out of the strike zone, but it looked like Darby thought about it but did not go. So now the bases are loaded with 1 out. Luke Peters, the left fielder, will be the next batter.
Nice job by Darby there, not to push it, not to just keep the inning going, keep the rally going, see what the next batter can do.
Denmark with a bit of a defensive conference there. They want to see how they're going to align this.
Well, Denmark certainly knows that Peters is struggling this tournament. He's hitting at .091, 11 at bats with just one hit. So it may have been a case of pitching around Darby.
That one looked like almost the same pitch, and again, Peters thought about it, but they're going to check again. And again, they say, no, he didn't go. And that one does, we're at the letters, 1-1 the count.
First and third playing in, they're probably going to come home with this.
Right down the heart of the plate. Peters takes a big swing and miss.
He was waiting for that.
Well, if Hansen can get a strikeout here, this would be huge. And he does. Peters with another swing and a miss. So 2 outs now. That's a big out for the Danes, who, with the infielders now being able to move back a bit.
Peters' struggles continue through this tournament. He's now 1 for 12, and that was a big spot.
Well, they're not out of danger yet, though, with Kyle Linton coming up.
Linton also struggling this tournament, hitting 167, 1 hit and, or 2 hits and 12 at bats. So we'll see if the decision to walk Darby actually pays off for the Danish.
Now we are, because Stockford is the catcher, we are getting a runner for him at second base. Is that being the rule? But although
there is some discussion. It looks actually like Stockton is going to go back.
Peters is going. Oh, they're discussing who is the one to run for him, and it should be the last out. So that would mean Peters goes. As I think the British team was trying to put a faster runner out there on second base, and the Danes are saying no, it's got to be the last out.
Important move there, because Stockton on a ground ball to the outfield, a single through, will have his task before him to score.
Well, Jorgensen drops that first pitch, but it doesn't get up far enough away from him, and obviously not with a runner on third for them to go anywhere. So first pitch is a ball, and a ground ball to second base, takes a hop. The throw to first base gets the out. That was Berger at second base, over to Terkelson for the out. So they do get out of that inning. The base is loaded, but nobody scores in the first inning.
Well, a nice play staying with that ball at second base. It did take a big hop, and he almost went over his left shoulder. But the field is a little bit moist from yesterday. Yesterday's rain, and it does have a few divots in it. So, but also slightly slower.
We'll be back for the second inning in just a moment.
Playo.tv, live broadcasting.
So Anton Brown stepping into the box to lead off the top of the second inning for Denmark. Takes high ball 1. That one catches the corner, 1-1.
Brown hitting .500 in this tournament. It's been up 4 times with 2 hits, one of which was a home. Nope, sorry, that was 2 total bases, so 2 singles.
That one misses away, 2-1 the count. It's Denmark, they've got a lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup, it seems. That one inside for ball 3. Darby looking back again.
Darby coming back with the off-speed pitch there. He wanted that. It wasn't the position he wanted it, but he definitely could have been called a strike.
The 3-1. Catches the outside corner, 3-2.
Lots of full counts the first 2 innings. The pitch count going up for Darby.
That one high, definitely high, ball 4. And the Danes get the leadoff hitter aboard.
Well, Brown was able to lay off that high heat. Worked himself a walk.
So Jakob Mortensen, the shortstop, coming up to bat.
Mortensen's had a great series, hitting .444, 4 hits and 9 at bats.
And he bunts the first pitch foul as he was trying to catch them off guard, and he really came around late, and the pitch was a bit high.
Well, we've already seen 2 bunt attempts in the first inning and a half. A little bit different than the earlier rounds of the tournaments where runs were abundant.
And he gets called strike there. So 0-2, Darby ahead in this count. Misses inside, 1-2.
Outfield a little bit shifted towards left, mostly straight away.
And he does ring him up there, so that one right at the knees. Fourth strikeout already for Darby in this game.
Well, nice job by Darby there. He goes inside, inside, outside for that strikeout.
So Berger, the second baseman, has another middle infielder come out. He tries to bunt. This one is down. Darby gets it himself over to first base, gets the out, and the runner does move up to second base.
Nice little sacrifice there by Berger. And runner in scoring position with 2 outs. For Mikael Anderson.
We're going to get a replay of that there.
Well executed.
Only one play there for Darby. So Mikael Anderson, the left fielder, the number 9 hitter, he takes ball 1, so if he can get on base here, we go back to the top of the order with Terkelson on deck.
Anderson has some pop. He has 1 home run, and despite hitting only .222, he's got 6 RBIs.
And that one's inside, so he's ahead in the count, 2-0.
We've seen some nice patience from the Danes in this half of the inning.
Even though Darby's got first base open, he'd probably rather get out of this inning and not have Terkelson coming up with runners on base, as Anderson takes a swing and a miss there.
That's right. Even though the first base is open, you're going to go for the number, the bottom of the order.
And a weak swing there at a pitch that looked like it was outside, so 2-2 now. Darby has fought back.
We'll see if Darby comes back with something a little bit out of the zone, tempting but falling out of the zone.
And a swing and a miss. Darby with his 5th K of the game. Middle of the second inning. Still no score.
Good job, everybody. Good cut. Let's execute our fun spot. Come on. On your back? Now everything your back. In the end.
Well, we now go to the bottom of the second inning. Davies, the third baseman, leading off for Great Britain. Pitch on the inside corner, strike one. It's high. 1-1 the count.
Davies hitting at .400 this tournament. 4 hits and 10 at bats. Getting on base at a .538 clip.
A swing and a miss, strike two. In there for a strike. Another called strikeout. Hansen gets the first out of the inning.
Quick work there by Hansen, coming in with a strike 3 off-speed pitch. Davies way out in front, lurching forward, and knew he was caught.
Well, there are a couple of Stockfords here on this British lineup. This one is the designated player, batting in the number 8 position.
Noper is hitting .313, 16 at bat, and 5 hits.
Swing and a miss, 1-1 the count.
He was late on that one, probably looking off speed.
Foul tip to the catcher, 1-2 the count. That went away, 2-2.
Couldn't get him to bite at the high heat. Hansen doing a great job of being wild in the zone. He's hitting all corners, nothing right down the middle.
Stockford calling time, maybe trying to just throw off Hansen's timing a little bit. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so another strikeout for Hansen.
Well, Hansen's really settled down after being a little bit wild in the first inning.
Josh Pete, the shortstop now, the number 9 hitter.
Pete's hitting at .357 with 2 home runs, so some power.
The pitch at the knees takes a swing and a miss as Hansen is looking to take care of the bottom of this British lineup in order. And a bunt foul, 0-2. And that was a bunting for a base hit for sure. Or he's trying to anyway.
Trying to start something up here.
So 0-2 with Hansen trying to get out of this inning very quickly. Pete manages to stay alive, fouling that one off.
Little mid-range off-speed pitch there. Pete was a little bit fooled. Managed to fight it off.
Strike 3. So Hansen strikes out the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the British lineup in order. After 2 innings, still no score.
Playo.tv, live broadcasting.
Well, back to the top of the order now for Denmark as they go to work in the top of the second inning. Now getting their second look at Darby, and Darby getting his second look at all of them. And he comes in right at the top of the strike zone and gets called strike 1.
Nice little off-speed pitch there to start him off. Terkelson seeing mainly fastballs the last time up.
Shows bunt, but that pitch was high, and Terkelson pulled it back. So 1-1 the count.
He would have needed a 10-foot pole to bunt that one. Let's take a look at Denmark's path to this position right now in a second.
Takes a running swing in it, Hammond over to second base for the out. Sorry, the Haldane rather. So 1 up and 1 down for Denmark. And Svane coming to bat now. As we take another look at it, took a little running swing there, but right at the second baseman Haldane.
Nice out for the Brits, get that leadoff hitter, especially some of the quality of Terkelson.
Comes in there with heat, strike 1.
So I think we can say it was a cakewalk so far up until last night's game for the Danes. Oh,
that one's up in the zone. Tries to check his swing, but fouls it off.
Game 1 against Sweden, the Danes won 30-0.
Don't think they'll be repeating that today.
Game 2 against Croatia, 9-0.
Slipping a little bit. A ground ball right back to Darby. He handles it easily over to first for the out, so 2 up and 2 down now.
Pitchers love those at bats where they just have to throw 1 or 2 balls and get the out.
They don't like it when it's hit right back to them, I think, though.
No, that was a nice, easy comebacker. Game 3 against the Netherlands, 15-0.
I hear a lot of 0.
Game 4 against Israel, 10-0.
Well, that pitch in the dirt goes to the backstop, but there's no runners on base, so it's just a ball. No harm done.
Game 5 against Belgium, 15-0. And last night, on the other end of the shutout, losing to the Czech Republic, 7-0.
These are generally 2 of the more powerful teams, that being, I said, Denmark and the Czech Republic. So they surely knew that was going to be their toughest test so far, and this one isn't proving to be anything easy so far either. 2-0 the count to Terkelsen. That one's outside, 3-0.
Well, it's not like the Danes didn't make contact last night. There are a few long fly balls. One to right center, which was actually caught as it was going over the wall. So they had their opportunities.
The 3-0. Terkelsen was probably taking all the way, but that was ball 4 anyway, so they do get a runner aboard with 2 out for Daniel Julinon.
Well, obviously being a little bit careful with Terkelsen there. 2 outs, but you also got to be careful with Julinon.
They all call him Charlie. It's a nickname on the team. Strike 1 on the outside corner.
Wow, that just nicked the upper outside corner. That was a pitcher's pitch.
Well, that's the pitch Darby's wanted most of the game. He got it there. That one definitely not, though. High in the zone, high out of the zone, sorry. 1-1.
Infield playing straight away.
That one just misses the outside corner, 2-1. That is where Darby really likes to work, that corner. He's floating right on the edge there all game.
That's where he's effective, outside, inside, but he's got to get that outside pitch.
Well, that's definitely what he wants against a guy like Julinon. You don't want to come inside on him and give him a pitch he can pull.
Got the call there for strike 2. Let's see what he comes back with now. Oh.
And ground ball, and that's going to find a hole and get into the outfield. Peters getting through that as there was a pretty wide gap there between third base and shortstop, and Julinon found that hole.
Nice bit of hitting there by Julinon, not trying to do too much with that outside ball and just whacking it through the hole on the left side of the infield.
So with 2 out, the Danes have a runner aboard, and Anders Jørgensen will now be the batter.
They may be a little bit careful with Jorgensen here with Brown on deck.
We do have a runner over at second base for the Danes. Gorlin in to run for Terkelsen. So this would be not a substitution for the catcher, but this would be a real pinch runner. Of course, in softball they can re-enter, so Terkelsen can come back into the game. Called strike 1 to Jørgensen.
Hansen going with the heat here. Interesting pitch to start him off with.
It's high, ball 1, and they throw a quick throw down to second base. Thought they'd call catch Gorlin napping, especially sometimes a runner coming into that situation, they don't quite have their head in the game, so.
A nice throw down there by Stockford.
That pitch really had some pop to it. You could hear the snap in the glove of Stockford, and 1-2 now is the count with 2 out.
Darby's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to load the bases, but he doesn't want to give anything really good.
That one misses away. 2-2 the count.
Really trying to get Jorgensen to bite at something out of the strike zone.
Oh, did that catch him? It did on the elbow, it looks like. So that will load the bases. Just grazed him, but that was enough to hurt.
I think it did just nick him, Derek, and but still at that speed, even a nick is going to make your arm numb for a while.
I don't think that Stockford's talking to the umpire. I don't think he believes that hit him. So I don't know if he thinks that's a bit of acting on the part of Jorgensen. We might be able to get a replay on this.
That would be good. I have to say I didn't hear anything, but I just judged from Jorgensen's reaction. Of course, he may be.
Stockford would know better than anybody. The catcher, he would be the one that would definitely knew if it changed direction at all. And they will run for Jorgensen because he's the catcher with 2 out.
The umpire must have heard something to confirm it. Let's see if we
let's see this. Well, that was so fast, it's really hard to tell.
We'll just have to take his word for it. Either that or give him an Oscar.
I don't know if that would go as a challenge there or not. That might come back as inconclusive. Anders Brown now takes a strike with the bases loaded now.
Well, Brown's only been up 5 times this tournament, but in a big position here. He can really break open this game.
That one's high and tight, ball 1.
Darby's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to walk in a run. He's going to have to come in and give something to hit. Maybe some off-speed pitch we'll see here.
Ground ball at third base. He's going to take it himself. That's Davies, 5 unassisted. And after getting the first 2 out, the Danes load the bases, but they get a ground ball to third base and get out of the inning. And we still, in the middle of the 3rd inning, looking for our first run.
Now we are heading to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Neil, great job, Neil. More things to fucking think about, isn't it? No, you don't.
So just as Denmark led off the top of the 3rd inning back with the top of their lineup, same with Great Britain now. Ryan Martin leading off the 3rd inning for Great Britain.
Hansen starting Martin off there with an off-speed pitch. Just outside.
Hansen did have some trouble with the early start of the British lineup. He had no trouble with the 7, 8, 9 hitters in that last inning striking up the side. But now he's behind 2-0 on Martin.
Martin's changed his strategy a little bit. Went first ball swinging last time up. Got that little poke through the infield.
Swing and a miss. Strike one. Is that? A hit into up the middle, and it's going to get through and into center field for a base hit.
Well, nicely placed there, not hit very well, but it found the hole, and the Brits will take it. Leadoff runner on, and their leadoff hitter.
So Richard Haldane now, second baseman. We'll get another look at that. As you said, wasn't hit really hard, just got a piece of it and managed to find a hole there. He shows bunt and takes a strike. I don't know if he just didn't think that was his pitch, or that was an intention to draw the infield in. He takes a mighty cut at that one. There's a steal. The throw was a bit offline, but I think he was going to be in there anyway with the steal. Martin.
Nice bit of running. I like that. The aggressive running, get the runner in scoring position. Now you don't have a need for a bunt, and you're going to let Haldane swing away and try to get this runner home.
So it's 1-1 with a runner on second base now. Fouls it off. 1-2. Ground ball to second base, but it gets through Berger, and that's going to score a run with Martin on second base. The speedy Martin, he comes in to score. That was a ground ball. That was just what Denmark wanted, right at Berger, but it got through him. And so the Brits strike first in this game.
Well, Berger had made a nice play earlier in the game to end the inning, but this one just got under the glove. Nice bit of hitting there. You wanted...
Yeah, through the legs.
You want the hit... The batter hitting to the right side with the runner on second. You're going to get him to third anyways, but that's just a bit of extra.
Stockford hits this one hard, and it's foul.
Well, he likes that left field corner. We've already seen him go down there 3 times now this game. They're feeding them in off-speed pitches, and he's complying by hitting the foul balls.
Well, he just fouls that one off. As he has hit a lot. He hit about 3 foul balls in the last at bat, and that's 2 now on this one. So he is making contact, and it's looks like he is a batter that, yeah, you're getting long strikes. He could be playing with fire, though. And he hits that one, and it just does get over the shortstop. Advances the runner up, so we now have first and second with nobody out, and a run already in.
Well, I liked what I see here from the Brits, a little bit of run manufacturing there with that first run, and now not trying to do too much with the ball, getting the ball over the infield.
After hitting some of those pitches hard, he just managed to bloop that one in behind the infielders. For Darby now, and he fouls it off the backstop.
Hansen's got to be careful here with Darby up. You don't want to let this game get out of hand in the early innings.
Well, we've said all along this game is a pitching duel. The thing is, they've both got the pitching, they've both got bats in the lineup too, so even if they fall behind, Denmark is by no means out of this game as Darby fouls another one back. It looks like a bit of, from his reaction, a bit of vibration on that. I know how that feels when you get that pitch down near the hands.
Your hands will still be rattling when you go back to the dugout.
That one's high and away. 1-2 the count.
A nice play by Jorgensen there to keep that ball from going to the backstop.
Foul tip, strike 3, as he gets a piece of it, but it's right back to Jorgensen, who holds on to it for strike 3.
Well, a big strike out there for Hansen to get the Brits' best hitter, probably, Derby, out from this situation. Still a bit of a threat, but not as bad.
We see Luke Peters again. He struck out the last time up.
Well, if we look at the British path to this game, also a little bit more competition, but not much. $17-0 against Germany and 16-0 against Lithuania are the blowouts. 15-1 against Italy. So they've had their share of relaxing games.
Well, these two teams were in different groups to begin with. They seem pretty well evenly matched. As Peters' hit was hard, is that one going to fall in? It does. The play coming to the plate, there's going to be no play. Over at second base, he throws it away into right field. And Linton over into third base. Linton was running for the catcher Stockford there. So the Brits get another run there.
Well, really nice read by Haldin coming from second base on that ball. It's just a loop, but he read that the left fielder was not going to get to that ball and took the chance and made it home, and then the overthrow to second base. So some aggressive but very, very heads-up base running here by the Brits.
And now, after getting through the order once there, as we see that, keep in mind now there's still, there's one out. But it seems like this inning, Britain is several hits now this inning. They're getting onto him.
Several hits and some heads-up base running. That was not an easy read by Haldin there on second base. And if he had held up even momentarily, he would not have been able to score on that play.
Well, Linton, the swing and the miss on the first pitch, and a swing and a miss on the second pitch. So 0-2, as Hansen could really use an out now.
Linton being aggressive here. He wants to bring these two runners home.
Instead, he strikes out and wasn't even really close on any of them.
No, a big strikeout there for Hansen. He wasn't messing around. He just went with 3 fastballs. Basically blew it by Linton.
And Neil Davies now will be the batter with 2 out. Are we going to... No, we're going to have a... Davies is not going to bat here. It looks like it's Wesley Knapp will be the pinch hitter.
Knapp is having a really good tournament here. He's in 667. He's only been up 3 times, but with 2 hits.
Well, they obviously, with runners on second and third, they see this as a big RBI opportunity and want somebody who they think can drive in those runs.
Yeah, if Denmark can get out of this inning just with a 2-run deficit, they're going to be happy about themselves, especially after a few gaffes in the field.
Swing and a miss by Knapp on the first pitch from Hansen.
That's 4 straight fastballs down the middle from Hansen.
Another swing and a miss. As Hansen means business now. A little bunt. Hansen's going to take it himself over to first for the out, and that will retire the side. So Britain get 2 runs, but they do leave a couple on base. And after 3 innings, they lead 2-0 as we get another look at that bunt for a single.
A curious decision with 2 outs and not the speediest runner at bat, but I guess they were trying to surprise them.
So Denmark will now try to answer, but They got the lower part of their lineup coming up now in the bottom of the third. Sorry, top of the fourth coming up now.
Playo.tv live broadcasting.
So on the top of the fourth now, the Danes are behind by a couple runs, but they do have the 7, 8, 9 batters coming up.
Well, that was big to get out of that inning just with 2 runs there. The Brits definitely could have tacked on a few more on the board.
And Darby gets the outside corner there for strike 1 with Mortensen up to bat.
Well, as we said before, Great Britain has had its share of relaxing shutouts, but they've also had a few tight games, losing to the Czech Republic 3-2, beating Belgium 5-4, and also losing to the Netherlands 2-1.
So 0-2 with Darby looking to put away Mortensen, but he doesn't get the outside corner there, wanting to. He fouls that one off. He hits Stockford as well.
Rattled the cage a little bit for Stockford. Sun trying to break through the clouds here this morning.
It's supposed to be a really nice day today. I know the weather hasn't been the greatest all week. That one's high and off Stockford's glove. There has been a bit of rain this week, although it hasn't been terrible. It was feared it would be worse actually than it actually turned out to be not so bad. And today is supposed to be a high of 27, as that one's high and inside. Full count now.
Not much of a wind factor either. It's a little bit breezy earlier in the week.
Mortensen stays alive, and this is after falling behind early. He's fought back in the count. Fights another one off. He's just staying alive on these pitches.
Nice little at bat here by Mortensen. He's got 1,000 slugging percentage this tournament. He's also been hit by a pitch twice.
A swing and a miss, and he just missed that one, although he might have anyway, but it was a foul tip, so another strikeout for Darby.
The Danes are having a lot of problems with Darby's high fastball. They're trying to lay off it. After the first inning, they were trying to lay off it, but they haven't been successful.
Jakob Berger now. We saw that just that last inning, he had that costly error there. And trying to atone for that with his bat now, and he hits that one just foul down the first base line. In the dirt, 1-1.
It's too bad that error in the last half of the inning, because Berger otherwise has had a pristine tournament in the field. No errors and 6 putouts.
Thought about that one and managed to hold back. They're going to check again. He did not go. And as you were saying earlier, Dan, from our vantage point, we have a very good view. We have almost the same view as you've got right now.
The umpire crew has done a really good job calling the check swings here.
And he just fouls that one off. I think that was low out of the strike zone.
Well, they're definitely battling Darby here, but so far Darby's been able to get that 3rd strike.
Did he get the outside corner? He did. Called 3rd strike. So 2 out and another strikeout.
Oh, Stockton didn't even wait for the umpire's call there. He fired the ball down the 3rd base. He knew it. Darby knew it. And
he's got a smile on his face, too. So Mikael Andersson now fouls back.
There hasn't been a lot of solid fair ball contact against Darby in this game.
Even the ones against Hansen were not solid rips. They were contacts and just finding holes.
That's true.
And you were talking about his high heat, and there Andersson just does lay off that one. He hits that one. Is it going to fall in? It does, just out of the reach of Pete. Andersson not thinking about second base, and he shouldn't either, but a single, a good piece of hitting there.
Oh, very nice there. He stayed back on the off-speed pitch and just was able to loop it into left field. Probably should have tried to take second base on that, because there was a little bit of fumbling. If he had continued on, it would have been safe and they would have had a runner in scoring position. But you're right, Derek, down 2 runs. You don't want to take that risk.
So back to the top of the order with Valdemar Terkelsen.
This is a guy who can tie up this game in a hurry.
And Darby surely knows that too. And gets the outside corner there.
Darby's done a great job with Terkelsen so far this afternoon.
Well, I don't think he's going to want to try to give him anything he can hit hard either. And he shows bunt off Stockford's glove, and on to second base goes Andersson. So now suddenly Terkelsen has a runner in scoring position there.
Nice play by the Danes there, a little fake bunt, get the catcher distracted and the runner down scoring position. We'll see if they can cut this deficit in half.
Well, it's still early enough in the game there that getting 1 run would still be valuable for them. Shows bunt again. They're going to see if he pulled that one away. He did pull it away. I don't know if it was too late or not, but
hard to tell on that one. Hard to tell from our angle. He may have just been able to bring the ball back. Darby definitely didn't think so and gave a small glare down to the third base umpire.
So the count now 2-1. Doesn't chase it and is 3-1.
We may, and they're going to give first base. They're going to intentionally walk down Turkles and take their chances with Svanet.
Well, it's an interesting decision.
Probably the right decision, I'm saying, especially how on fire Turkelson has been in this tournament.
They are putting the tying run aboard with Svane up to bat.
Well, we'll see if their little gamble pays off here. Svane has also been hitting very well this tournament.
Takes inside, ball one.
Yeah, Svana's right behind Turkelson, hitting 385, but not as much power.
He gets the outside corner.
Nice pitching there by Darby.
Gets a piece of that one. Runners are moving, but they'll have to go back. The 2-1. Fouls it off again. He fouled it off the ground and off himself.
Well, 2-2. We'll see if the Danes try to surprise and put the runners in motion here. Even though it's just 2-2, but
a big pitch cue coming up. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that is a big strikeout for Darby to get out of this inning.
Come on! Good job, Dark. Good work, son. Good work. Good work.
Well, we just got a look at some of the players from the Pikes Praha softball team in attendance here. I think we're expecting a lot of people. We'll have a lot more people coming to this next game between the Netherlands and the Czech Republic, that's for sure. Especially as we get to Friday afternoon. A lot of people getting off work here in Havlíčkův. And tomorrow, as the throw back to Hansen misses his glove. Tomorrow we'll have people coming from out of town and expect, especially if the Czechs make it to the final, this place could be packed.
well, it's great. It's a great weekend to catch some top-notch softball.
So Nopera Stockford up to bat now, the designated player.
Havlíčkův brought a beautiful town, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to combine and see some softball and also take in the sights.
He checks his swing, but I think Hansen thought he'd got the strike zone there.
Well, Hansen's been very clear with his body English this game that he would like some calls to go the other way.
I'm starting to see that some of the coming in behind us, some of the Dutch players coming up for the next game, and that game you can also see here on Playo at 1 o'clock Central European time. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, so the count is now full on Stockford.
Oh, Stockford won that one back. He was looking strike the whole way, wanted to drive that ball.
Called strike 3. Strikeout for Hansen, as he has dominated the bottom few hitters of this British lineup.
Oh, it's been a very, very close game. The only difference in this game is that the Brits have been able to get the key hit with runners in scoring position, and they played flawlessly in the field, but otherwise the pitching has been very similar.
Well, now Pete, the number 9 hitter, up. He struck out the first time up. That first pitch was not even close. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Maybe that first pitch got away from him a little bit. Pete showing bunt. Pulls it back, takes a strike.
Little show of bunt there, drew the infield in, but obviously wasn't trying to bunt.
Hansen misses high, and he knows it too. He's not happy with that pitch. There's the 2-2. And that's misses high as well. They want a new ball. I guess he's lost his grip on this one. So full count now to Pete. 1 out, 2 out. There's another strikeout for Hansen.
Hansen just coming back with the heat there. Didn't show much off speed.
So now Ryan Martin, who scored the first run of this game, swinging strike 1, of course, with a hit, stole second, and then scored.
Now Martin's had a nice little game, been on base twice this game. Just what you want from your leadoff hitter.
He's behind 0-2 now, though. And Hansen looking to get out of this inning. He hits that one hard on the third base side, off the fence. Made a large sound there. You probably heard it as it was close to one of our microphones.
I guess it hit off some audio equipment there. So that was a booming foul ball.
Count still 0-2 to Martin. Calls time. He hits that one hard to left field. Almost getting to it is Anderson. He'll have to go back to the wall and get it, and it's a double for Martin.
Wow, nice bit of hitting there. Pulls it down the left field line just outside of Anderson's reach.
We've seen before Anderson there in left field seemed to have some range. He may have moved in initially off the crack of the bat, and as somebody who's played the outfield before, that's always a mistake. Let's get a better look at it.
He was playing just a shade to center field. There was a nice little gap there, and Martin took advantage of it.
Well, Richard Haldane is now the batter.
Martin's had a great afternoon now, 3 for 3.
There's a second base again, and Haldane hits the play to center field. It's in the gap, and it's going to score Martin for the second time. Haldane going to stand up at second with a double.
Well, 2 very well hit balls off the bat of Martin and Haldane. And those are actually the first 2 really hard hit balls we've seen all afternoon.
We're going to get another look at that one, and he does hit it. It just, again, it looked like Terkelson if he was playing that one straight away and it was just a little bit off towards left center, he might have been a bit off to the right field side of that one. Kevin Stockford, the catcher, now to bat. Oh, and it hits him, and that, there's no question that did hit him, as you could hear the sound of that, and he's not happy, and I don't blame him. That doesn't feel good.
I think, Derek, that it hit his forearm right before it was about to hit him in the head.
Let's take a look at this. Yeah. We could hear that sound of that hitting the...
That was very close to going in, getting in the ear. It looks like they're going to have a pinch runner. Or
yeah, well, Stockford is the catcher, and there's 2 out, so we can have a pinch runner.
Well, I'm sure Stockford is ready to take a breath after that one.
Well, as a catcher, he knows all about bumps and bruises and taking foul balls and things like that for sure, but...
He bounced up, though. I mean, there was no rolling around the dirt and that. It's very scary, though. He was very close to getting that one in his ear.
So now with 2 out, remember the Hansen struck out the first 2 batters of this inning, and now 3 straight runners on base. First of all, 2 big hits, 2 doubles, back-to-back doubles by Martin and Haldane, both with 2 out, and now the Stockford hit by the pitch. They're going to have a bit of a conference now.
Well, they're going to need to, because they've got the Brits have their best hitter up right now, Darby, one of their best, with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, hitting .368. So Darby can really help his cause here with a nice hit and break this game open. It's already on the edge of getting that a little bit out of hand for the Danes, but Darby could really do some damage here. And as you say, yeah, a 2-out rally. This was a very quiet inning a few minutes ago.
And Britain has a pinch runner on second base as well. It's Amit Aswani pinch running, so they are not satisfied with just getting a run this inning. They want to try to get at least 1 more. Of course, Martin is the runner on second base, or sorry, on first base for the catcher Stockford, because he scored the most recent run. Foul tip, strike. 1-1 the count.
You can't really pitch around Darby here, because you've got Peters coming up after him, who also has his share of home runs this tournament.
Little one hopper, and that one is foul. Right on Svane.
Just foul. That would have been a tough play.
Especially since he didn't field it cleanly.
Yeah, well, even if he had fielded that cleanly, it had such a high bounce that I think that Darby would have already made it to first. And it would have been tough to tag third as his momentum going forward.
So the 1-2 with 2 out. Swing and a miss. Yeah, that's strike 3. Everyone seems a little bit unsure about that, but that is strike 3. So Britain gets 1 run in the inning. Maybe Denmark, on one hand, wishing they had got out of there with nothing, but could have been worse as well. So
it could have been a lot worse.
So 3-0, Great Britain.
Playo.tv live broadcasting.
Well, we just got to look at those back-to-back doubles hit by Britain in that inning that brought home their third run of the game. So now we go to the top of the fifth inning, and it's Fredrik Terkelsen leading off for Denmark. They've got the middle of the order coming up, and they'd really like to get on the board now.
Yeah, this is the time they've got to make a move if they're going to start something against Derby.
Terkelsen checks his swing. They want to appeal again. Oh, he went. They're saying he went. So that's a strike. Terkelsen doesn't agree, but of course he doesn't. Yeah, this is probably, after being the fifth inning, they probably have one more time through the order for the heart of the lineup, so this is something in the time they really want to get things going now. That one's low and away. Two and one now, the count.
Terkelsen's going to be patient here. He's going to try to run this count and try to get on base.
And that one's high for ball three.
I'll be very surprised if he's swinging at this pitch.
That just does catch the outside corner. And the umpire actually rung him up, but he was mistaken. It was actually only the second strike. There seemed to be some confusion over the count there, but it is a full count now.
Full count. This is a big at-bat here.
He goes low, ground ball to second base to Haldane. Over to first for the out, one away.
Easy routine play there, nice wet infield. Still the dirt is nice and moist still, so that ball's going to slow up.
So with one out, Daniel Julinon will be the batter. He's going to get another one of that. Couple steps to his left for Haldane. Over to Linton for the out. Julinon takes strike one. And the Danish dugout below us getting really loud. They know that this is time to get something going, and they really want Julinon to provide a spark here.
Wow.
Lays off the high pitch for ball one.
Yeah, they're really trying to rally the troops here below us, but I would love to have a clock on that Derby's last pitch.
That was definitely not as fast. It was 2-1.
Tried to get him to swing at some off-speed pitch out of the zone.
Well, the batters they've got up to bat, I mean, now there's one out, but Denmark would love an extra base hit right about now, and Julinon's the kind of guy that can provide that. And that's called strike two on the outside corner.
Wow, that was a late call. But a good call. That was definitely on the corner.
Right at the top of the strike zone, and Julinon fouls that one off.
Shorten his swing nicely for that one. Just trying to make contact. Down, even in the count now, 2-2.
fights off the pitch on the outside, fouls another one off.
A nice job here by Julina trying to get something going, trying to stave off and continue the inning.
Julina continues to stay alive. This is becoming quite a matchup here.
This is a key battle. Darby doesn't want to give in here. He doesn't want any runners on base.
Not with this part of the Dutch lineup, no. Danish, sorry. Dutch is next game. And that one's low and away, but Darby had that extra ball to play with. He doesn't have it now. It's a full count. As that's about, how many foul balls have been? I think that's been about 8 pitches now in this at-bat.
Yeah, this has been one of the better at-bats by the Danish player.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Darby. And that, well, there have been a few big ones, but that might have been the biggest of the game so far.
So far, that's it. That was a battle, and he definitely didn't want to give up a base on balls after throwing nearly 10 pitches. So, nice little fight there by Darby. We'll see if he can finish off this inning and keep the runners off, which Hansen was unable to do last inning.
With Jurgensen, it doesn't get a whole lot easier now. Low ball 1. I said his biggest of the game, but now that I would think about it, that last inning we had all the runners on base with 2 out. That was a very big strikeout as well.
Definitely. Darby's had a few mini jams here, but he's been able to get out of it.
Inside ball 2.
Wind starting to blow in from left field now.
Called strike on the outside corner, 2-1. We know the wind is picking up when our papers here start to blow around. That's the gauge we're using. We also got the flags. And funny thing is, the British flag is the only one that's fluttering right now. Some symbolism there.
Definitely, yeah.
Strangely, the Danish flag right beside it, and it's kind of sitting limp. I don't know how to explain that. It's 2-2 though. And he gets called strike 3. So, wow, what an amazing inning that was. And that was the 3-4-5 batters.
Well, Darby
for Darby with 2 strikeouts there.
Hats off to Darby. He wasn't going to give in and didn't allow any base runners, preserving the shutout.
We can see there the British team really pumped up by that, and now they'll go to the bats and try to add to their lead. Kim Hansen back for his 5th inning of work. Luke Peters up to bat. And he struck out the first time, but had a big hit the second time up. RBI. He takes high, ball 1.
Well, he certainly did have a big hit. made it down to second base the last rally, and he also had a few long foul balls.
It was interesting there. That missed high, but Frederick Terkelson at first base was walking halfway down the. I don't know what the discussion is about now. Discussion with the, I think with the coach now, but.
Well, maybe if we get a replay of that last pitch, we'll know what they're talking about. I still think
Elsner, one of the bench players they're talking about. I don't know what, something. We can only just speculate on what the conversation is about. But
well, at any rate, a ball and a strike.
Well, we got a ball and a strike on the graphic. We've got 2 balls on the scoreboard. That pitch was definitely a strike. That catch, that did. That's strike 2, so the count now 2-2.
Oh, nice pitch there by Hansen, right in the inside corner.
Jammed him, yeah. That pitch is high, ball 3.
Lots of room there in left center.
Sure is, and they hit a couple balls. And that's ball 4. So that's not what Hansen wanted to do, was put Peters aboard to lead off this inning. Kyle Linton, now the batter.
Not too much speed on first base, but we'll see if they try a sacrifice and try to cushion this lead a little bit.
It looks like they're going to do something. I think they're going to put a runner out there. We're going to have a pinch runner indeed at first base, and this will be Evian Gale.
Well, I think we can expect a bunt here. Coach now talking to Peters. Sorry, Linton.
Well, the Danish infield will certainly be on alert now. And he is squaring to bunt. He waved at it and missed.
He's got to really try to get this one down, because if you get a runner in scoring position, you're able to get that extra 4th run. It can make a big difference. So
Hansen is definitely going to make these pitches as hard to bunt as possible. And that one misses high. I'm not sure if he's going to square and try to bunt again. He might with 1 strike.
Interesting.
He fouls that one away. That goes out of the park.
Well, he definitely wasn't bunting there. Interesting call. I thought they would either try a straight steal or a bunt with 1 strike, but maybe they'll go for the hit and run or a straight steal here.
Well, I think they're trying to keep, they don't want this to be easy to guess, obviously. 1-2. That misses high. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Hansen gets a big strikeout here.
Big strikeout indeed. And the runner is still on first base.
It does seem odd that he put him on a pinch runner and not doing anything with him, but the batter now is Neil Davies, the third baseman. And he is squaring to bunt. He pulled it back. And they, again, appeal. We've seen a lot of appeals in this game.
Well, that's a really tough call to make on the bunt, pulling it back.
Showing bunt again, fouls that one off. So 1-1 the count.
Let's see if they'll give him the green light and have him swing away. Now the infield is drawn in. They were
the bottom of the lineup has not done much for Britain in this game, though. He squares to bunt again, pulls it away again. Hansen asking where that one missed. He's guessing that it was low.
Well, I'm surprised they're not trying to run on Jorgensen. They were successful the first time.
Squares again. He pulls it away, but that was pretty much right down the middle of the plate, so it's now 2-2. And Gale hasn't moved too far off first base there yet, and the whole time he's been there. As he takes strike 3, that was Davies, called out on strikes. So after giving up the leadoff walk, Hansen has come back with 2 straight strikeouts. He's got quite a few strikeouts today.
Well, that was a big at-bat. A little bit of a disappointment the Brits weren't able to move that runner over the last 2 outs. Let's see if that doesn't come back and haunt them later in the game.
Nopera Stockford now.
Well, with a 3-run lead, I would think that you've got to take that chance and go for a steal here and get the runner in scoring position.
The funny thing is he hasn't even got much of a jump off the base on any of the pitches. 0-2 now the count. As Hansen looking to get out of this inning now. That one just misses.
I think Hansen thought he was out of the inning there.
That one misses low, 2-2.
Wow, big gap in left center field here. Anderson shaded towards the line and Turkelson towards right field.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So once again, 3 strikeouts in a row for Hansen. And he does get, he gave up a leadoff walk, but then 1-2-3 and gets out of it. Going to the bottom of the 6th.
Come on, everybody.
Denmark running out of outs.
Look good, everybody. Come on. Let's go.
Inside. Ball 2. Sorry, ball 1.
Oh, Mortensen's got to be patient here. He's got to try to get on base. I was a little bit surprised that Brown was first ball swinging there, but it did the trick to put a little bit of charge into the Danes bench.
Here's the 1-1. We're going to get another look at that home run there. Now Denmark, they're still trailed by a couple, and they would love to build on that and get something more this inning as well. That pitch is low.
Good job by Mortensen to run the count to 2-1. 3-1. The graphics say 2-2, but I think it is 3-1.
And that pitch just misses high for ball 4.
Darby wanted that, but it was definitely a ball. Just missed the strike zone. And Mortensen's on. We've got the tie and run now at bat, exactly where the Danes want to be. We're hoping to be at this point in this inning. Berger bunting.
Yep. He definitely tried to bunt that one and missed. So strike 1.
Well, this is an interesting call, down by 2 runs, and you're going to bunt. I guess he's trying to get the top of the order back up, and runners in scoring position. Now they still have one more inning.
Yeah, it's as you say, giving up that out at this point, which are valuable at this stage of the game. Throws bunt again. And again, he was bunting with 2 strikes there. That was interesting.
It was interesting. No, but no argument on that. He held back. The ball was a little bit low, but must have crossed the strike zone as a strike.
He seemed to question a little bit, but it didn't look, as you said, it didn't look like he pulled it back at all. So that was a bit of an interesting play there.
Unfortunate out. That was quite an easy out for the Danes.
They are trying to, showing bunt again, Mikael Andersen, the number 9 hitter. We were debating that just a minute ago, whether it was worth trading out for a base, but there they gave up the out without getting anything for it.
Yeah, that looks like they're trying to get Turkington up to bat with a runner on, no matter where he is, preferably in scoring position, but
he waved at that one and missed.
Well, Mortensen can get a better jump than that, because with the first baseman coming in, he basically just has to stay level with the second baseman. The only possibility was he was going to throw it and make an overthrow, which he did.
It didn't look like enough of an overthrow that, I mean, I thought it was a risky play going to third, but it didn't even draw a throw.
It was a good read by Mortensen. I also thought that he was going to stay at second, be satisfied with that, but hey.
However, Andersen takes called strike 3 there, so despite the runner getting to third base, Darby does have back-to-back strikeouts now and 2 out. As they will talk now, the coach is going to talk the batter, Terkelsen, and the base runner on what to do here.
Well, with 2 outs, your options are kind of limited. I'm sure they're going to let Terkelsen swing the bat. The question is, will they even let Terkelsen swing the bat, or are they going to try their luck with Svane? The second, they may put Terkelsen on. Of course, then you're putting the go-ahead runner on. But Terkelsen's just been so hot this tournament that they may not give him anything to hit.
Well, Terkelsen will be the tying run, actually.
And they are. They're going to put him on.
All right, so the tying runs are aboard now at first and third. So Svane now is the go-ahead run up to bat.
Oh, I don't know about this move. Swanee has been almost equally as hot. You're kind of playing with the softball gods here by putting the winning run, the tying run on base, and bringing the winning run up to bat.
If anything, it was, as we'll watch the first pitch, which is low, it was too bad they couldn't have got Mortensen over to third base there with less than 2 strikes on Anderson. They might have tried a squeeze play or something.
That would have been interesting, yeah. That would have been a good call too, because Anderson seemed like he was overmatched there, but maybe not with a bunt.
Boy, he came in with some pop there. It looks like it just missed inside.
Are they got him to run down? Are they gonna? Oh, they're trying a deliberate run down.
That doesn't work.
Again, interesting by Stockton to throw down, but it's not the tying run at third base. Interesting, actually, very interesting play. They didn't go ahead and try to get the runner.
It seemed like he was hung out to dry, and they could have gone after him. And it's not a sure thing you're going to get him, of course. But
so it really looks like the Danes are playing for 1 run here. They just want to get 1 run, and
throws bunt.
They're doing it again.
Do it again. He's going to go home. He is safe at home. So that worked out well for the Danes. Stockford arguing, but I believe the umpire was correct. He got it in there on the slide.
He was safe. He was safe. It was a good call by the umpire. He got in under the tag, and a gutsy play.
Oh yeah, he got in there. He got the foot in there.
Well, now you've got the tying run on second base, and I still don't know why you don't go and try to get the runner hung up between first and second on that, because you're out of the inning. You sacrifice the run, okay, but you're still up by 1 run going into the final inning. Now you've got a runner on second base as a tying run.
Stockford's still pleading his case, but we've seen several replays on it now, and the umpire definitely made the correct call. He was safe at home. Well, I'll see it once more, I think.
I think so, Derek. I think he got in underneath. There. Now, why don't you go for the runner hung up?
Yeah. Yeah, he got the foot in there.
Definitely. Yeah. Maybe if the throw had been on line and without a bounce.
The thing is, with 2 out, you might even get that guy out before he touches the plate.
That too.
But if you don't, oh well, you're out of the inning and it's 3-2.
Exactly. It's a fairly easy out when you have a runner at this level hung up between first and second.
So an interesting turning of events there.
I don't think you throw that ball down to home unless you are absolutely sure you're going to get him at the plate.
We see Stockford going over there. I don't know if he was hurt on that play. He looked like he's walking funny.
He did. He ended up on his back. He made the throw down to third base afterwards to prevent the runner from throwing, but he looked like he took a beating coming in and was a little bit like a turtle on its back.
It's been a rough game on him. Remember, he got hit by a pitch earlier. He took a pitch on the forearm, and he's taken a couple of foul balls off his shoulders and whatnot, or legs. So
all in a day's work for the catcher, I suppose. And with the being hit by the pitch, it just added value for the position.
So but it looks like he's just maybe trying to walk it off and just trying to buy some time.
Yeah. If the Danes come back and tie this game, I think, or even end up winning this game, I think we've got to look at this decision not to go ahead and try to get that runner between first and second out in a rundown, even if you allow the run to score.
Well, Svanee up to bat now. Remember, he's still in the middle of the at-bat. It was what was interesting there is he had a 3-0 count, and he just swung at that pitch and fouled it off.
I think they want Svanee to hit here if they can and hit this. If he gets something to hit, to try to drive the ball and get this run home. He's had a really hot tournament.
So foul off. So Darby, remember, he does have 2, and it looks like another foul ball hit Stockford there.
Oh, Stockford is taking a beating this inning.
So Darby does have 2 strikeouts this inning, and he's now battled back from 3-0 to a full count, and is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, albeit having given up 2 runs.
Well, I think Swana knows what's coming. I think we all know what's coming. He's going to come with the heat and try to challenge Swana with a strike.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So another big strikeout. He seems to just come up with these strikeouts at the times when he really is in a jam.
Wow, a beautiful, beautiful pitch by Darby. That just faded out of the strike zone. A gutsy pitch. It would have been ball 4, but I think that was and ultimately been the strategy to not give him anything to drive at that moment.
So Denmark does get 2 runs that inning. Remember the leadoff home run, and then that double steal kind of situation. You'll see the home run again. However, they still trail 3-2. And they only have 1 more at-bat coming up with the bottom of the order coming up. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 Great Britain. Josh Pete leading off, bottom of the 6th inning for Great Britain. Swings at the first pitch, strike 1.
Well, see if Pete can start something off here and get that insurance run back. The shortstops had a good tournament.
He just sort of checks a swing there and fouls it off. So 0-2, as the Danes would have 1 more bat, as we've said already, and they do not want to be down by more than 1 run.
Pete has some power. He's got 2 home runs this tournament.
He fouls off, and the umpire, his mask comes off.
Out. Rattle the cage there. Give the umpire some time.
We've mentioned the hazards of being a catcher. Being a home plate umpire can be a bit of a painful experience sometimes too.
Oh God, getting that ball hit back right into your mask.
Or the shoulders. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So another strikeout for Hansen. He has owned the bottom of this British lineup today.
That's right, he's giving nothing to the lower part of the order. You know that the top and the middle can do a lot of damage, so you've really got to make sure that the Brits don't get any bails.
And speaking of a lot of damage, look who's up to bat. He's been Mr. Damage so far in this game.
Martins, he's on base for the 4th time this game, a hit by pitch.
Well, if there's anything, I mean, if Hansen is happy about anything, it's that he's only on first base for now.
Yeah. Hansen has not been able to solve Martin this game, and we'll see if they're going to be able to get this runner over in a scoring position.
Well, Haldane has had a pretty good game as well.
I think you got to send Martin. He has the stolen base this game. He has speed.
And you got a guy with power up to bat.
Go ahead and take the chance.
But he swings at a pitch in the dirt.
Oh, beautiful all-speed pitch there. You haven't seen that many of those from Hansen. He's gone more for the power this game, but that was also a good pitch to steal on.
Haldane tries to check his swing.
Oh.
That's called. That is ball one. And Hansen again saying, where is that pitch? He's asking, is it outside?
Oh, the whole Danish dugout is questioning where that was. They may have a point.
Ground ball to second base. They're going to get, hits the runner. That is Berger at second base with his second error of the game.
A tough play there at second base. The runner in the line of fire. But
That's a tough play, but that has to be scored an error to the second baseman there because the throw hits the runner.
definitely, the shortstop was lined. He was at the bag. He was lined up. The throw should have been to the center field side of the bag, and they could have turned the double play possibly. But the throw was actually hit Martin in the. Here's the replay. Hit Martin in the back of the legs, and it was low to the wrong side.
Well, so second and third now with one out. Want to cut down that run at home, that's for sure. Then that's a little ground ball. No play at home, though. They're going to go for the out at first. So Martin scores again, and it's now 4-2 for Great Britain.
Well, a really nice play there, Hansen. He only had one play. The ball was hit so high on the bounce that the run was going to score fairly easily. And a nice play to get the runner at first, but beautiful job of hitting there by Stafford. Got the ground ball that they needed.
Well, that was basically as good as a bunt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Stockford leaving. Remember, he's the catcher. He's definitely not 100%. And I almost wondered if that replay fouled off of his foot, which would have made it a dead ball. Nobody's questioning it, so
yeah, it's strange.
It's a moot point now. Darby up to bat with 2 out. It's big swing and a miss. It hit the ground very close to his foot in any case.
It definitely did, and that big bounce, you almost wonder if the pitcher had not fielded it and let it roll, if it bounced again, if it had rolled foul. But I guess at this point you can't take the chance of going down 3 runs.
Well, yeah, not only, if that had happened, not only would the runner have been safe at first, but another run might have scored.
Exactly.
But 0-2 now to Darby. I was thinking that initially that the foul might have hit him because, well, Stockford was limping off, but we remember he was limping already from the previous inning.
He's had a tough game, and to ask a catcher to run out a ground ball in the late innings.
We see Terkelson in the foreground in center field there on the screen as he's almost right in front of our camera. Darby stays alive with a foul ball, and he can only help his own cause now. He's got a 2-run lead, and he'd love to give himself a 3-run lead going into the top of the 7th inning.
Hansen gives the ball over to Mortensen and try to clean it off a little bit for him.
In the dirt. I think that hits the umpire's leg. There's going to be a play at the plate. No throw.
Did he touch the base? He didn't touch the base. He's going back to touch the base.
Well, yeah, then there's the question of whether there was any obstruction there because Hansen was covering the plate without the ball.
There's a little bit of a shoulder block there by the pitcher. Almost like a hockey move to check him out off of the plate. But he definitely missed the plate coming in.
That low pitch either hit the leg of the catcher or the umpire. I'm not sure.
Well,
that made it hard to get to.
Let's see this. Hansen's there blocking. Oh, it was just a collision. Hansen had no business being right in the line there.
As you're saying, he hadn't touched the plate, but I think he pretty much gets awarded home plate on that.
Yeah, yeah.
He pops that one up. Is it going to stay in play? Terkelson's going to try to make a play for it, and it's just out of his reach and hits the roof.
Unlucky break there. Danes could have at least gotten out of this inning.
The bases are now empty after that wild pitch scores a run. And Britain now has their 3-run lead back that the Danes had chipped away at just to come within close, and just like that, it's gone.
They do indeed have the 3-run lead back, and it's exactly what you can't do when you're coming back. That's a dagger in the heart to get your efforts erased right away in the next inning.
Change up there, inside.
That was the slowest changeup I've seen from Hansen this game. A real floater.
There's low and away, ball 3. I think he had Darby 0-2 to start. So.
He tried to get Darby to chase something there. It's the 2 off-speed pitches in a row. Hansen may be tiring a bit.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, so he does get one more and get to smile at a Darby, but I mean, even though he strikes out there, Darby has reason to smile right now, and he's going to go off back to the work in the top of the 7th and try to finish this off with his team leading 5-2.
Heads up! Heads up!
To je třetí out a dostáváme se do začátku 7. změny. Skóre 5-2 pro britský tým.
Hey guys.
Britain 3 outs away, and we were talking about the standings earlier. What this would do would give both of these teams a 3-2 record at the end of the group stage. They could also be joined by the Netherlands if the Netherlands lose to the Czech Republic coming up. So difficult to say what the standings are with all 4 of these teams so close together.
Yeah, well, I guess a lot of that will depend on the second game. But
what just happened to Darby there?
Darby is down. He released the pitch and immediately fell to the ground. I don't know if he turned an ankle or if it's his arm, but oh, it looks like he may have turned an ankle.
Was it? It looks like the front one. We might want to see a replay on this last pitch to see what happened there. Now this would be quite a loss to them. Oh, that's.
Yeah, it looks like the ground there is uneven, and he just his ankle took a little bit of a turn there. The pitchers are always trying to tend to that, their little garden there in the front there, and to level it out. But sometimes it's just you end up going into a rut that either you or the pitcher before you makes, and it's no fun. It really looks like he's hobbling. I'll be surprised if he's able to continue. So much weight coming down on that leg.
Well, he's seeing if he can go or not. I know he's not the only pitcher they have.
No, they've got Kyle Linton, who's only pitched 12 innings so far.
Well,
and
Linton's standing right beside Darby right now, and I think they're still deciding whether he's gonna.
And then they've got Richard Haldane. Haldane's their primary pitcher seems to be. He's 4-0, and he's pitched 21 innings, giving up 15 hits.
It is going to be Linton pitching, as Linton is now grooming the pitching circle to his liking, and Darby is leaving this game into a big hand, and boy, he sure should.
All of the home runs allowed by the British pitching staff, 3 home runs.
So the Danes are definitely going to see this as an opportunity, because
Well, this could be a very lucky break, and let's hope it's not a break, but it could be a very lucky turn for.
And again, it's the 3, 4, 5 batters coming up. Remember, last time those 3 came up, they did nothing. They went down in order.
Yeah, it was Brown that started everything out for them last inning with the opposite field home run. So let's see if Turkelson can start something off here. Fred Turkelson. Somebody's also treating. Oh, he's getting it wrapped. And is that Darby on the third base side?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that is him. Well, can't imagine he's going to play third, but no, they've got 4 infielders there already. Well, so Linton's going in to pitch from first base and playing first base. There's Haldane there.
Yeah, it looks like Haldane's got his first baseman's mitt.
I can see Haldane, Martin, and Davies all there. Martin is normally a center. He's come in from center field, so we are missing an extra infielder.
Haldane, I think, has gone to first base.
Well, then they still need someone to go out to center field.
Where Darby is going out into the field. He's going to play third base. No, he's going out to center field. That's an interesting, very interesting. Oh, looks like
especially it opens the door to what about a hit out to the outfield? How much range is he going to have out there?
I can't imagine him getting to anything that's not hit
right at him.
Directly near him. Yeah, that's an interesting call there. I guess Darby really wants to finish out this game, and they want to keep his bat in the lineup in case they need it, but we'll see.
Well, remember we have 1 ball to Terkelson because that first pitch. And Linton, announcing his presence with authority there, comes in with some heat. As Nuke LaLouche would say. Terkelson gets a piece of that one.
Well, he's going fastball, fastball. Let's see if Linton actually has any other off-speed pitches.
This would be, for Linton, a save situation. And he hits that hard to center field, and look at this, right at Darby. You said he would have to be practically hit directly at him, and it couldn't be hit any more directly at him than that.
Well, he was definitely positioned in the right straightaway. He made the play, limped a little bit afterwards, but it seemed like he was fleet of foot getting to that ball. And probably the hardest hit ball by the Danes this afternoon, aside from the home run.
He didn't have to move much there, and Terkelson's got to be hitting, has to be shaking his head that the one place he hits it to, I mean, if it was just a little bit to one side or the other, it could have meant extra bases.
Yeah, definitely, and real extra bases, because I think that Darby would have a hard time getting to the ball back into the infield quickly.
Well, Daniel Yulenon up to bat now. You got 1-1 count. First pitch was a strike. That second one was outside. He thought about it, but pulled it back. That one misses away, 2-1.
Linton's been staying up in the zone. Even the hit was a high strike, or the fly out to center field was a high strike.
And another hit out to center field. Is Darby going to get to this one? No, he is not. It falls in front of them. So a base hit for Yulenon.
Well, it's almost like the Danes have trying to hit it to Darby as they sense a kind of weakness in the defense there. Of course, we'll see. There's still the tying run is still in the on deck circle. So
even a speedy center fielder would not have caught that one on the fly, though.
And Darby hobbles back to his position in deep center.
Yeah, he is.
25 out, 5 in.
We just heard 25 out and 5 in. That means a pinch runner for Ulenon. They must mean, I was wondering if they meant 55 Lawrenson.
Oh, Jorgensen's up. If Jorgensen can get on base, you're going to get a chance to give Brown another at bat.
Swing and a miss for Jorgensen. No, it's Svane, the third baseman. Who was the last out in the last inning. Fouled back. Ground ball up the middle.
Oh!
Runner bumps into him. That was Martin. Haldane's pointing over, asking for interference. Now, that's a tough call because the runner was going directly to the base. He didn't alter his path, so the question is, and the umpires are going to talk this over.
Well, they're going to talk about it. I think that if he did not... Here's the replay.
It didn't look like he did any extra motion to...
I think that that's the second baseman's fault. He's got to have the ball in his hand and not in the glove. In his hand, in the glove, so that does not happen.
He was trying to tag Svane out there.
But Svane did not do anything with his arms to knock the ball loose. He was just a regular running motion, so I don't think you're going to have an out call here.
And it looks like they are not reversing the call. It will stand as is. It's not like Alex Rodriguez using his hand to knock the ball out of the
exactly
out of the fielder's glove.
There was no slapping motion there. If the runner doesn't change his path, and I think so. I think you've got a interesting.
There's no other way it can be scored, and the runner, the batter, Jorgensen gets on a fielder's choice.
A good decision. The decision to tag the runner was fine because you would have had a game-ending double play there, but you got to hold on to that ball if you're going to tag the runner.
Somebody from European Softball Federation.
It looks like that they're going to file an official protest.
I don't know if that is a protestable call. It would have to be a rule application thing, and this would be a judgment call.
Well, the umpire crew here, the umpires informed the British manager that if he is to file a protest, he needs to do it 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes of the conclusion of the game. So I don't know. I also agree. I don't know how they can protest that call. It was a judgment call.
Well, okay, so now of course all that would become a moot point if Britain hangs on to win this game anyway, there would be no protest then in that case. And that's still the situation with 1 out.
The ball was hit hard enough, and there was enough time to flip the ball to the shortstop at second base and still complete the double play. Although it would have been a close relay back to first then.
But they would have got the lead runner out anyway.
And then maybe it's... I can't argue with the decision to try to tag the runner.
In any case, as we were saying before, Brown coming up to bat now. He represents the tying run now. How big are those 2 runs, though, in the top of the bottom of the 6th by Britain looming now? Because if that hadn't happened, Denmark would now have the tying run at third base.
Well, they do now have the winning run, no, the tying run at third base, with Brown issued the intentional walk. And that brings up Mortensen, who was also on base the last time up.
We've seen Britain do this before, putting what could be key runs on base. So we've now got the tying runs all on base. The potential go-ahead run now up to bat in the form of Mortensen.
Well, that shows a lot of respect for Brown. His reputation precedes him.
Well, they saw what Brown did last time up, and they certainly don't want him to do that with 2 runners on base. Takes a big cut at that, 1-1. As we've seen ever since he's entered the game, Linton has been coming in with heat.
Haven't seen one off-speed pitch from Linton yet.
Called strike 1 and 2. So some drama in the 7th inning now, sorry.
Outfield coming in a little bit. Oh.
Mortensen chases one upstairs for strike 3.
And that's exactly what Linton wanted him to do. Something out of the strike zone, impossible to hit.
So now suddenly there are 2 out. And the base is still loaded. Looks like Mark Nihoy is the batter. He's going to be batting for Berger.
Nihoy, three hits and 6 at bats this tournament, hitting .500. Nihoy does have a home run, so some power. 3 RBIs, only 6 at bats so far, but he does have a home run.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Nihoy. He gets the call. Nihoy not happy with that. He thought it was a bit high.
Linton staying up in the zone every single pitch. There's no surprise here.
And the British dugout all up. They're hoping this is the game. Here it is. Strike 3. That's the game. Great Britain wins 5-2. They finished the group stage with 3 wins and 2 losses. The same record as Denmark, so they finished tied. Now, we've still got another game coming up between the Czech Republic, who is 4-0, and the Netherlands, 3-1.
Well, a good game this was. Every time the Brits jumped out a little bit further, tried to increase their leads, the Danes came back and mounted a reasonable comeback in the last inning, but a tight game, well pitched and well played for the most part on both sides.
Well, these teams were projected to be close to each other, and that's what we saw. It was really a game that could have gone either way. So,
I guess there'll be no protest then.
No, that would be canceled, yeah.
still be interested to know exactly what the protest would be based.
In any event, the next game we have coming up is the Czech Republic against the Netherlands. The scheduled start time of that, 13:30, which is already passed, so I assume that means they're going to start it as soon as possible. So we'll sign off here and see you shortly for the Czech Republic against the Netherlands.